Alright guys, so this is the Magnate. It flies kind of like a goldfish, and the armor is kind of weak with a lot of health like a goldfish. But, you see, first off, we have this, the main entry position on on these front guns, and, the hull. You need, like, a spanner mount chem. You want chem on this hull. There's really no reason not to bring chem strap up here. Now, this second position, you see, got the GAT and the main engine. Now this is a pretty solid engine position. The problem is, this is actually the gunner position on this ship. The reason being because down here you see got the watches, the balloon, and the turning engines. Now, in a tough fight, you need chems on your balloon. You cannot survive without chem on your balloon. So, that means you got two choices here. You can either have a main engine, a spanner mount chem, or you can have a wrench buff engine. And the only way a wrench buff engine can work is if they work together with the spanner mallet buff engine up here. So this is the gunner position with the spanner mallet buff engine. Ideally, you want 2 buffs per ship, especially buff on this this top gat. A buff on the watch is great too, and buffs you can quickly buff up everything. The problem is it takes a little while for these engines, the spanner mallet buff and the wrench buff, to work together. But it can be done. This is definitely a playable ship. It is playable, unlike the Magnate. And to repair this engine from below, you have to use your stamina to jump up. You can also get to the front from right here if you time the jumps right. There you go. But you players, it's easy to fall off right here. It's real easy to miss this fall. So oftentimes you'll be using a little bit of stamina, so that's okay. But, so a brief explanation on the gun positions right here. You have a heatsink light flak, or like a grease banshee. Heatsink light flak heatsink makes it turn faster. Heatsink reduces the arm range by 20%, which is 30 meters. And heatsink does a lot of damage per clip. And then you got the GAT, a buffed grease GAT, to break their armor as fast as possible. This is the most useful gun in skirmish mode. I mean, in, whenever we're playing right here, Alliance mode. And you got a Burst Watcher, ideally a buff Burst Watcher, to help break their armor, break their components, and kill them. So, that's basically it. This is a playable ship. You end up taking a lot of damage, but... And, yeah, it's definitely tricky. It's hard, but it's playable.